Hello everybody, welcome in. We are here with a general and timeless reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing you in the midst of figuring something out that's going on between you and another person. The definition of what this relationship is unclear at this point, but there's something going on between you and someone else, and you may be figuring out like the right way to go about like addressing this or do something or take action within your connection. Starting off with the King of Pentacles. Maybe really focusing on your career right now, or there are like responsibilities that feel really important to you in your responsible era. Feeling like the choices that you are making, you want them to be aligned and consistent with like what you have to take care of. Looking at King of Pentacles and the Temperance card. It seems like if you want to approach a situation like the King of Pentacles, this means you being really slow and steady with something. Like the build is going to be worth it to you. This is like a sound structure that you're building within your life. You want to take your time. You want to be methodical, detail-oriented, using quality material. Now, I'm not technically talking about something literally that you are building. This can be like the foundation of a relationship. It can be the foundation of a job. This can be your guides being like, hey, hold up, be patient with your career right now. Give it time to build. So anything that the King of Pentacles would be concerned with. So this is things within the 3D that you would be focusing on right now that may take some time. But especially to have the King of Pentacles, that can be you in a space where you're like, I'm doing this and I'm putting in the work right now. You may not be seeing like all of the results immediately, but this is telling you take your time with it and keep going. I'm hearing you're building a life for yourself. You're going to get to where you're trying to go. But yeah, it may like require you to really be put in a lot of work and a lot of patience. Here we go. You have the Hierophant. This is you doing something for like a higher reason, a higher purpose. But you could be at a point where you're like, I don't feel like I'm getting that much back from it. Maybe in some ways. I'm not saying like all across the board. This feels like particularly in some ways there may be results that you're not seeing yet that you want to see. You could also be in a space where you're like, I'm waiting to see if this is like really going to pay off, and you may not see that again immediately. All of these major arcanas here. I'm seeing your guides definitely tell you to stick with this right now. Keep your heart open. Don't doubt what you're doing. You may be facing a choice. I will definitely say this. If you were thinking about potentially switching things up, again, things connected with the King of Pentacles. So this can be like job, it can be like a role that you're playing. But I do get the feeling of you waiting to see maybe if you're going to be, like if something's going to be returned to you, like if I put this energy, like I'm looking to get X back. What this looks like is that you could have been maybe thinking about an important decision that needs to be made here. I get the feeling though of you potentially thinking about like, hey, should I cut and run here? That doesn't look like what you're being guided to do, if that was the question. Like, what I'm seeing is that you could be in a space, let's just use an example, where you're like, I'm not getting paid enough yet, or I'm not being compensated enough yet, or I'm not getting that recognition that I want yet, or like this hasn't happened yet, and I'm still at the point of trying to figure out if this is going to work or not. I'm seeing your guides be like, you have not been doing this long enough to be able to know whether these are the results that you want or not. Like, I'm seeing you're still building right now. Like, you're not at a flat line. So this is definitely what I'm seeing here. But it seems like in this time where maybe what you're doing is like repetitive, I'm seeing like something needs to be built here. So like you need to continue to be doing this if you want to get somewhere with it, like if you want to make progress. So it's going to take consistency for sure. Again, you may be at a point where you're like, I feel like I need to make this decision, but I'm seeing like you haven't spent enough time doing this yet to know. Because what I'm getting is that like you can get the results that you want, but this is something that you still need to be doing. You're not going to see the results that you want to see yet. Yeah, so you may like stop for a little bit, like keeping tabs so closely. I definitely want to be like careful with the way that this message comes across. It's like specifically for you, if you're in a role that you really like, and maybe not all of the perks of, like maybe the perks aren't exactly what you want it to be yet, but as far as you doing something that you feel like is connected with your sense of purpose and has like a higher purpose and a higher meaning for you, I'm seeing that you're in the right spot, and it seems like right now is about having faith and maintaining that, and also being patient as you build like your rapport and you put in the work. So this is like practicing over and over and over again and showing up every day, every moment for what it is that you're doing. Now, I'm seeing something about a decision potentially that may be coming up for you, but I get this sense that this may be pressure that you're putting on yourself to make a decision that it's not time to make this choice yet. Because you may be like, well, like, am I getting back what I need from this? And like really keeping track. It can be like, say you are doing like entrepreneur work, right? And you're trying something out and you're seeing if you get paid enough, but you've only been doing it for whatever amount of time you've been doing it for. And your guys are over here saying you're going to need to put in more time to really get an accurate depiction of what those results are going to be. But you keep like keeping track of it like every single day. Like really, really, this is just like putting all of your focus and energy and attention on like what you're getting back. Like if I put in this, then I'm getting that back. This is like about the relationship and the exchange of like work to profit that's happening here. But I'm seeing your guides be like, you can take a break from keeping track so closely of this. You need to just give it some time right now. It can be like this. Let's use an example. Say you're creating like a TikTok or something, right? And you're waiting to see if you're going to be able to like make a living off of it, or if you're going to be able to like use that as another stream of income. It's going to take consistency in you building and creating that like base of followers, you know? It's like that with anything that you're doing where you're starting off, where you're not like being inserted in the middle of a company where things automatically come through. There's something here about, for some reason, something needs to be built, because I'm seeing you be like what you're actually doing, like the content of your work feels in many ways fulfilling and like there is a higher meaning of what you're doing. Like you feel spiritually connected to this, and that is going to grow and continue for you. For some of you, there could be an element of helping, an element of teaching with Temperance here. With the Hierophant too, there can be like something personal for you that you're sharing with other people, or something that means something to you. that you're connecting with and sharing other people, or you could be like some sort of guide, or again, like helping in some way. With the Strength card, it can be something where you're like center stage, or there's something creatively that you're doing, something original, something that you're like putting your special touch on. With the Hierophant, this can be like philosophy, spirituality, language, any sort of teaching, and same with anything having to do with finances too, or values, morals. And with I'm getting definitely like an emphasis on teaching, and with Temperance, kind of similar stuff with that. There can be more than just that. Those are just some things that I'm definitely seeing here as far as having Sag, Taurus, and Leo. So yeah, whatever this thing is, whatever, I get that this is like a feeling of pressure of like, should I be making this decision now? You may be doing something where there's like not a clear blueprint. This is what I'm getting. I'm kind of getting you're like sort of creating your own blueprint right now that you're following. You may be putting yourself in a spot where you're like, I need to make this decision now, but like you haven't been doing something long enough to make that choice. So give yourself some time. I strongly am picking up that it is not time to make this decision yet. Take your time, wait. You're still, this means like you still have not gotten the results, like you still have not gotten to a point where you're going to be able to see whether or not this is giving you back what you want from it. Like it's still too early to call whether or not you're yielding the results that you want. I'm definitely seeing this be like your guides directly speaking to you about this business, okay? There's something here also about like resting or relaxing or making sure that you're, if you feel like you're absorbing or sucking up too much information, or just concerning yourself or keeping tabs on things very closely to the point where it's kind of like throwing you off, or you feel like you're getting a bit neurotic with something, this is about chilling out, okay? It's like, just back up from it a little bit. You may be like, I get that the image of like somebody's face like smushed up against glass, like looking at something very closely. Just back up a little bit. It may also be hard to see, like if you're too close to the situation, it's hard to like properly see from an objective standpoint. So that may also be something that's going to be happening too. You may also be like questioning yourself too, and like your abilities a bit. I wonder too, like for some of you, this can be about a person that's in your life too, where it's like hard to tell right now. Yeah. We have another person out here. You may be at a point where you're still like trying to figure out what you need, and also you could be still figuring out whether or not somebody's going to be able to sort of like do that for you. I am seeing something potentially compatible, but there's some stuff that still needs to be worked out because there's like a lack of things feeling maybe concrete or solid or clear at this point. I'm hearing which time will tell. Okay, Sag, Leo, and Taurus we have here. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.